Administrative reports. Well, sure.
Just wanted to share, I'm excited, and I think I'll get down also doing this, but, Erica just has some teacher, decided to run a science Olympiad this year, it's been offered in Macomb County. And, so so many students, I don't know if I will have an opportunity to become involved in an after-school program, science Olympiad, and as well as people in school. But I believe, Lauren's running it as well, so I'm gonna ask
I also wanted to thank everybody in the Community Foundation raised with the Rotary sponsoring the Algonac Elementary Outdoor STEM Classroom. The community raised $2,200 roundabout, and Rotary matched it. So currently we're at $4,600 and change, and hoping to get another match grant to put that outdoor STEM classroom at Algonac Elementary. But we have a good start to go on, so real excited about that.
I would like to publicly recognize my staff. This is the second year in a row that Fairhaven has received a reward banner. I haven't heard of anybody else that does that, and it's a credit to the staff and two that are here and all of those that couldn't make it. We're extremely proud of that. Also, our enrichment classes will be starting in right about holiday season. So that's will be 5 weeks of after school fun for the kids. Thanks to our teachers who volunteered to staff those.
We're certainly proud of your efforts.
Mr. Lee, we talk real quick about the past.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
In the back, we have a nice trophy and a kind of a sandwich board sign. We try to get Mr. T.D. to wear that at the board meeting tonight. But our past program continues to receive awards for its outstanding efforts and results. You recall this is a program that was started with Mr. Latos, got it up and running with Mr. Case, and it has continued success behind Mr. Bruton as well as Mr. T.D. Mr. T.D. is the on-site coordinator for the past program. And in a nutshell, you're taking freshmen, incoming freshmen in their transition year, and pairing them with responsible mentors, upperclassmen that have been trained and things that not only academically but socially. So again, big, wonderful program, big reward for our kids, and we were recognized this weekend. Mr. T was there. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Mr. T.
Just that my role is greatly exaggerated in this. Simply wrote an application. Credit goes to the people that started it and people that run it, Kurt Welshner and Mike Cesaro. We actually won the award, one of the awards, back in May of last year, where we were recognized as one of 5 schools in the category of social science and humanities. And then over the past summer, we were voted as the top one in that out of those 5 schools. And so we totally won $3,000 for the past program and got some nice awards.
There was a tremendous amount of interest there. I attended Saturday. A lot of people coming out and asking, heard like, a lot of questions, how are you doing it? So there's a lot of extreme interest there also.
It's a great program and great for our kids, and it happens every Tuesday and Thursday during our seminar time. So if you're ever interested in come out and see how it works. Consequently, we beat Cross-Lex in that award, so it's always nice to be pioneers in something. Thank you.
And I have to add, while Mr. T.D. tries to diminish his role, one of the things that happened when he just wrote out the application was the application had to be approved by the school board president. So it was forwarded to me for my perusal. And reading the essay type piece that he wrote about the past program, about the plans for it, where it came from, and all of those things, was an extraordinary piece of writing. It was a wonderful application, and I was completely in awe, so you did a very good job. So you get some of it too. Anyone else? Board reports?
I'd like to bring up the audit again, and Lori, I know that the numbers aren't quite what we would like to see, but, we knew the numbers going into it. Most importantly, the audit, itself, with the unqualified opinion, no findings, no, question cost, that's a job well done, so thank you very much.
And we're gonna, explore a percentage.
I think a good idea for the road report maybe next month, is just bring back a goal benchmark, whatever you wanna call it, for fund balance percentage that, moving forward, that, you know, administration has something to work with.
And you can figure,
Yeah, I think that would really be advantageous for us as we work through this budget process. As I've mentioned in a couple different venues of communication, because the numbers look like they do, these cuts they're gonna sting a little bit this year. And anytime that you have something that's significant, that's gonna impact not only our own schools but the community as well too, I think having as many opinions as possible is of the utmost importance. And so if the board does set a percentage, be it 5, 6, 7, 8%, that'll give us a target goal that we can work to. We can actually put numbers to different ideas and suggestions, saying, here's the target goal of this mix. What do we think is going to be the least detrimental to the stakeholders? So it would be advantageous for us, and I think Lori and I have a lot of work to do to truly look at what 5, 6, 7, and 8% mean, especially in deference to trying to stay out of the position where we have to borrow money to make payroll. That's a position that I think we really don't want to get into. I know we've been in that position before, and when you do that, you're paying interest just to make your payroll. And I think that if we set our target goal somewhere around that neighborhood, that would be good for us. So Lori and I will do a little bit of work, a little bit of research before the next board meeting, and if we have it as a discussion item, we can put some of those numbers out there and make some decisions before then. The budgeting process usually doesn't start until early spring, but getting a jump on it will help us get as many views and opinions as we can.
So we have discussion, other than
Yeah. And that will give it to us by December, which is plenty of time to do what we have to do. Yeah.
so I think if the board were able to see these several different scenarios, then when we show up in December, it should pretty much be straightforward. I mean, we'll have a
Sure.
good
Sure.
idea.
Yeah, Lori and I will do a lot of number crunching, and we'll provide you all the information in the discussion item. We can talk about the advantages and disadvantages to some. You know, there are advantages to leaving it as high as you want to, and then there's disadvantages of doing that as well too, because if we're truly stuck to a number and we don't quite get there, there may be some decisions made that we don't have to make in a time frame. You know, there's advantages to cutting it all right now, and there's advantages to stepping that over time as well too. So we'll research those different scenarios and present some of those scenarios to you in the discussion portion.
Anyone else? Superintendent's report.
First item of discussion I had was the PASS award. I think they did a wonderful job of talking about that. I only add one more piece to this puzzle. The involvement that I had in the program, I could tell you that the most important part of the program are the mentors themselves, and I think they need a very, very big lion's share of that credit. It is a very, very easy road to not want to be a mentor. It's a very challenging thing for these mentors to do, and they make a full year commitment to these at-risk freshmen. So the work that our mentors have done over the 10-year life of this program is to be commended as well too. They make that program what it is, and we will make sure that Mr. Welch and Mr. Cesaro portray our thanks to them as well too, and use a little touch of this grant money to make sure that they're rewarded and know that they're appreciated. But again, thank you to all program stakeholders. It's a big source of pride for our schools. Appreciate all the work all have done. The official student count is in. That took place on Wednesday, October the 2nd. Those numbers came back a little bit lower than we had anticipated. And there's two numbers that I've been throwing out in the different communications. There is official and unofficial. Officially, we have 27 plus 21. And to add that, to explain it a little bit further, 27 students down plus 21 Blue Water Middle College students. And Blue Water Middle College students are not officially Algonac Community School students. They're students that are enrolled with the Blue Water Middle College. But you can't take their FTE and just discount it completely. The FTE is split based on the number of classes they take with the Algonac Community Schools and the number of classes that they take through the Blue Water Middle College. So those 21 students will equate to roughly about a $60,000 decrease instead of the typical $140,000 decrease that would have been. And the other 27 are full FTE students. So with that student count in place and knowing what our permanent audit or what our finalized audit looks like, we will be able to much more accurately predict for you those percentages that we talked about and what that will mean financially for us as a goal. We have done some comparisons to past enrollments, and there doesn't seem to be just one spot where students are coming from. Algonac Elementary has a little bit lower of an enrollment. The middle school is pretty stable, and the high school has dropped a little bit as well too. But we are going to be graduating a class that is about 15 students bigger than our kindergarten class right now. So those are all factors that we have to take into consideration when we're building future budgets. So our official student count is in, and like it or not, it does give us a number that we can work for, and also gives Lori the ability to start working on our first budget amendment as well too. So we'll take that data, we'll start crunching those numbers and come up with something that is firm for us to set our target goal at. I sent you guys emails last week. For us, the approval from the Michigan Senate of the Common Core was a great thing. This finally gives us that affirmation that these are going to be our standards. There is one more piece to the puzzle that we're all waiting on, and that's to see if the state does approve the Smarter Balanced Assessment, the SBAC. That is the final piece of the puzzle that's still left in the air. The House put a little bit of language in their legislation saying there's supposed to be a committee that reviews it sometime in January. But I think going forward for us, we are going to plan as if this is going to happen next year. We always kind of thought that it would, and so we do have our curriculum in a place where we think we're ready. The only reserve that we've been holding is our 22I money, which is the tech readiness money, the TRIG money that the state has set aside for us. And we are supposed to be getting another round of that money coming in, they said sometime in the winter. And once the state finally says, yes, it is going to be the SBAC, and here is your list of technology requirements, we've been kind of holding that money so we can say, okay, we need this to make ourselves tech ready for that. So a very good move by the legislation for us. It gives us that affirmation and confirms that the work that we've done for the past 3 years has been work that's been set toward what the state has actually wanted, which really kind of is a big weight lifted off of our shoulders, and we can continue to move forward on that. So that is firm and set, and we will wait what they have to tell us about the assessment piece that's tied to that. The last version of the reporter was sent out a couple weeks back. This was the first digital-only version of the reporter that we have released, and we tried to publicize it to the public in every single way that's possible, through email lists, out through Twitter, and through the weekly memo, trying to get this note out to the public that it's not being mailed. I do understand completely about having an actual paper in your hand. I still do have a touch of old-fashioned in me and like to buy the newspaper every once in a while. But when it comes to financial times like these, I released in the weekly memo that each reporter run that we sent out to the public cost us $4,200. And so for the yearly cost for the Algonac Reporter, it was a little bit over $21,000 for the year. So we've decided to reduce that by 3 issues this year. We sent the first one out in print because we think that the back-to-school one is of significance. And we think that the very last one, our graduation edition, where we talk about our top 10, is a very important print edition to have as well too. So we reduced it by 3. We're going to do our 3 middle reporters in the digital format, and we'll listen to feedback from the public on whether or not we are getting that message out properly to them. But a cost savings measure for us to save approximately $13,000 by releasing those 3 digitally instead of sending those out. So we will do that, listen to what people have to say, and relook at this at the end of the year to see if that was the proper strategy. Meat testing is concluded. All the administrators, I'm sure, are sighing big reliefs that the boxes are sealed, tape packed, and ready to go, and reports from administrators were positive. Efforts from the students were exemplary. Staff members were great in being proctors, and attendance was high as well too. So thanks to all the staff, to the students, and to the administrators for the hard work. It's a very daunting couple of weeks, and we anxiously await the results. I'd love to tell you a firm date when that's going to come, but that date fluctuates from time to time, and I would say winter-ish, stressing the ish, will be something that we can look forward to getting our results back and learning from the data. And Melissa already talked about the Community Foundation Award. I want to hit on that one more time and publicly recognize the work that the Community Foundation did, not only just for the Algonac Community Schools, but some of the other entities that the Algonac Community Schools are related to as well. The original $10,000 grant from the Community Foundation, through the generosity of so many, was turned into over $30,000. And just rattling off a couple of quick numbers, the Algonac Youth Football League raised over $12,000. The Clays Historical Society over $8,000. The Community Theater Group over $7,000. And even though we didn't win that sum of money, those organizations also directly impact the Algonac Community Schools as well too. We work very closely with the theater group. The Historical Society has always been wonderful for us. Just today, they presented some speaking opportunities for our students. And of course, the Youth Football League is something that Jamie T.D. actually started a couple of years back and is a feeder for our athletic program. So an absolute wonderful opportunity for all of those organizations and for our specific STEM classroom project as well too. So thank you to all those involved in the wonderful contest. It was a great thing for the community. And the final report I have is from our EEF committee. I was unable to make the meeting, but Mr. Latos chaired the meeting for me and talked with those that showed up for our EEF committee. And the committee this year wanted to grant a little bit more money than what was allocated by the Community Foundation. And Mr. Latos, you can chime in anytime here where the details get a little bit off, but the original intent as described to the committee was to get that EEF fund to approximately $200,000 and spend interest off from there. We've surpassed $200,000 and we keep growing. And the EEF committee, because of the number of applicants that we had 30+ applicants for several Woody projects, wanted to fund further some of the projects that were proposed. And so what has come out of that is we were going to attribute $10,000 to the foundation, and the committee wanted to grant an additional $5,000 in grants this year. So distribute $5,000 to our pot, put the other $5,000 out into the classroom. Feedback has been positive back from the EEF committee on who those award winners are, and we plan on announcing those award winners later on this week. And there are some absolutely wonderful projects that the committee has decided to fund this year. We look forward to the announcement and also to seeing those projects come to fruition. It's going to be a great benefit for our